Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Triad Podcast, where we try not to mess the podcast up. And today,
We've already
everything is
messed it up.
trying to kill you.
Why is everything trying to kill you?
Everything is trying to kill you. I don't know. Apparently, a corpse makes more money somehow. Soylent Green and people. Anyway,
OBS
let me
is
look at
trying
this.
to kill me.
Yeah, OBS is the worst. Let me show you something, Trevor. I don't know
No.
if you can see that or not.
What is it?
This thing that looks like a turd.
It looks
This
like
is
a
actually,
it looks like a really old Twinkie.
it is not a really old Twinkie.
That's where my brain went.
This is wood ash soap. I made this, and I have been washing myself with it for, like a week. And I thought
Does it
I
feel
was
like
going to
a
get like
Twinkie?
some, not even close. That would be
Oh.
showering with a Twinkie. Well, I'm going to go to bed with that horrible visual tonight. Thank you.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much. Yeah. No, I was expecting it to be really hard on the skin and it to be horribly uncomfortable and everything, but no, like everything's kind of like healing up, zits are going away, and I was like shocked by it, like how well it actually works. And I realized, holy crap, there must be a lot more stuff in our soap than I realized. And that got me to thinking while we were talking earlier tonight about like toothpaste and what the additives are, like what kind of additives. Because this is kind of one of those older conspiracy theory things that once upon a time you would have been nuts for even asking. But given the fact that everything else has turned out to be true, I kind of wonder if people like add harmful crap to products so you have to buy more product.
Yeah.
Like, I really am starting to think that's like an actual business model and a norm, not a bug, as it were.
Yeah.
So
Well,
to state this, we had a article about Crest we were going to read, right?
I just pulled up something on MSN. It says 6
Oh,
whitening toothpaste that might be harming your teeth more than helping.
might. Note, there's your legalese word. Might.
Might.
Might, maybe, possibly, may. Don't sue. Those
So,
qualifiers usually mean don't sue when it comes from certain sources,
well,
I would argue.
the story is by Son of Gray, so I don't know if it's legit or not.
Son of Gray.
So it says story by Son of Gray.
Sounds like a Lord of the Rings character.
Or Dorian Gray from League
Dorian
of
Gray.
Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, what a great movie. Totally underrated. We need to do a review of that. But our reviews always do terrible, so I don't know.
I don't care. They're fun.
I love that. Yeah, I love that movie. So anyway, sorry, go on.
We should just watch that movie on stream. Just do a live
Oh
stream
yeah,
of
because the Chuck
watching.
Norris thing worked out so well last week. It's like,
uh,
boy, we better shut this off before the stream.
I so wish we could have saved that.
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
I tried. I spent like an hour trying, but there was nothing I could do.
Nothing
So
at all.
yeah.
That's too bad.
Do you want to go to this article, or what's the deal?
Alright, whitening toothpaste promise a brighter smile, but not all products live up to their claims, and some may actually harm your teeth. While these toothpastes can remove surface stains, they often contain abrasives or chemicals that can wear down enamel, increase sensitivity, or irritate gums. Understanding which whitening toothpastes are risky and how to choose safer options is essential for maintaining both a bright smile and long-term oral health. So it goes on to list toothpastes with harsh abrasives. Many whitening toothpastes rely on abrasive agents to scrub away stains, but these can be too harsh for daily use.
See,
Products.
that's what I kind of figured was going on of Crest. Does it mention Crest essentially, or just all? Let's see, what do they got here?
Colgate Optic White
Crest, yeah.
toothpaste, and Crest 3D White, which I actually use Crest a lot growing up, and the
Yeah,
3D white one was one of the main ones. And
yeah,
my teeth were always messed up, always.
yeah. Me too. Yeah, that's I had like gum disease. My gums were bleeding. I was always getting cavities, and it stayed that way until I switched over to Sensodyne and like started like gargling peroxide and stuff. But I
Well,
had to get away from Crest and Colgate because yeah, I couldn't. I was always having to go to the dentist, and my gums wouldn't stop bleeding. It's pretty miserable. So
what's that called when your gums are bleeding like that? That is a
I think
name, doesn't
it's
it?
gingivitis or some kind of gum disease.
Gingivitis. That's
Yeah.
it.
So I think instead of my theory, my opinion, allegedly, is I think it's that abrasive stuff.
Well,
I think it's that abrasive stuff that creates that effect. That's just my opinion, though.
and that's just toothpaste.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think it's in soaps. I think it's in like laundry detergent. I think I just think they put stuff in there. I even think like I this is my conspiracy theory, and people can tell me if you think I'm right or wrong. I honestly think that shampoo is designed to dry your hair out, so you have to get conditioner to re-moisturize your hair.
That's
And
the way
that's
it
why
is
they're
for
sold
me.
on hair. It's like a bulk, round and round and round and round we go.
Yeah, if I don't use conditioner, my hair is just dried out, and dead.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think that's yeah, I think it's by design. I think it's by design. There's certain brands that you can get that don't do that, but I'm always kind of like, you guys know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, the ones that have the shampoo and conditioner mixed together,
mhm,
it's like I take a shower and use it, and then it's like I never even took a shower an hour or two later when my hair dries
right.
out completely.
Yeah. No, I think it's a giant conspiracy. I do. I do. It's like fat weight, like weight loss products designed to make you fat. So you have to buy more weight loss products and on and on and on. That's the way a lot of them work.
Yeah.
Like I've been off and on into exercising for a while now.
How many
I'm
demons
no
have you got rid
god,
of?
huh?
How many demons have you got rid of?
How many demons have I got rid of? By demons, do you mean pounds? Like, what do you mean demons?
You said you were exercising.
I meant physical. I don't mean.
Oh, physical
Oh,
exercise, not
oh, oh. Don't play like
exorcisms.
you don't know what I'm talking about. Are you being punny, Trevor?
No,
Is that you being punny?
no,
Yeah.
no.
No. No, I been getting into it, but when I was a kid, I used to be into it as well, but I could not lose weight for the life of me, you know, because the one thing the one thing that they told you not to do is what I wound up having to do to lose weight. Just like that toothpaste article we saw earlier before we did the show. You remember it? It was like blaming fluoride
Yeah,
and Sensodyne. It was
yeah.
like targeting those two things specifically. It wasn't blaming fluoride. It was blaming peroxide and Sensodyne. And
Oh
I was
yeah,
like, those are the two things I used to get rid of my gingivitis was peroxide and Sensodyne. And they're telling you not to use it in that very article. I'm like, that can't be a coincidence.
yeah. That's in
You
this
know.
next part here. High concentration chemical whiteners like hydrogen peroxide or carbamide peroxide to bleach stains. While effective at removing discoloration, excessive use can irritate the gums and soften enamel.
Find excessive use. You always got to watch. You got to, because these things are like, they're liars that have got lawyers going in and checking everything to make sure they can't get sued. What does excessive use mean? You know?
Drinking too much
So
water can hurt you.
that's what I use to fix it. That's what I use to fix my stuff.
Huh.
So
Wow.
it's incredible. But anyway, gosh, where was I? I started doing a tangent. Oh, fat loss. Yeah. The stuff that they told you to do to lose weight is like stuff that's going to guarantee you're fat and you stay fat. because it
Like
took me forever to figure out how to lose weight. And I remember you saw me in my 20s as a balloon.
yeah,
So,
like eating more healthy. Well, what does that entail?
right.
Spend more money.
Well, it means more carbs and, don't build muscle. Just like diet down, diet down, diet down, which eats your muscle away. And then you don't have as fast a metabolism. And then you have to.
Or any energy.
Right. Yeah. Your base metabolic rate drops. And so it gets harder and harder to diet down. Like you have to do resistance training too. Otherwise, there's no point.
Yeah.
But anyway, um, but I remember like being so frustrated with all the things that like I would buy Shakeology and I would get like the Beachbody stuff and I would sit there and do all these little gimmicks. And some of it like I always felt like when it came to Beachbody like the trainers were sincere. But man, every time I dealt with that supplement company, they were like Satan,
Really.
you know. Yeah, like it was like you just got a completely different vibe from the supplement people. And so you were trying to get food to lose weight, like Shakeology, you know, and it none of that ever worked. Like it never worked. But it wasn't until like I started watching the Hodge twins that, and it was like,
We got a good show for y'all.
yeah, well they had like dieting stuff, and they showed you how to work out, and I remember watching.
Yeah,
I feel like the Almighty like spoke to me, and I'm not being facetious when I say that. I really mean that. But I remember watching it like just eat Chick-fil-A. And this is what I thought I heard the Almighty say. It's not a question of discipline, it's a question of math. Like you got to do the math because that was all they were doing. They were eating the sandwich with the high protein and stuff.
yeah.
And it didn't matter. Like macros are macros. If they're crap, fine. But even eating 1,500 calories that are crappy calories is better than eating at a surplus of like quote unquote healthy stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Salads
macros are
and
macros.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah, like salads and stuff. And so anyway, it just like once I realized because they always told you don't. They told you two things. They told you don't count your calories because it's not about counting calories. It's about eating healthy. And healthy calories are going to be good for you.
Well, then there's
They
the
always
other
told you
side
that.
that
Hmm?
I always heard to count my calories.
Well, you're supposed to. Like, really, you're supposed to count your calories. Like, it is calories in, calories out. That's like how it's supposed to go. But when I was in my 20s trying to figure out how to do this and listening to Beachbody people, they would be like, it's got to be healthy. You gotta do healthy because nobody knows what that means.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what healthy means. And I'll give you a perfect example of this. Like if you don't understand macros, like healthy doesn't mean anything. Like one of my attempts to lose weight, I like literally I was being good and for breakfast I had my shake, right? And then for lunch I had my tilapia and broccoli, which is horrible. And then I had my sweet potatoes for dinner.
Speaking of
And
tilapia,
here's what, huh?
I tried tilapia for the first time last night.
I hated it.
Ah, it was
I
alright.
hated, I hated those meals. Like, well, I shouldn't say I kept getting sick. So I started hating it because I kept getting sick, not necessarily because of the taste. The food
Uh,
wouldn't keep in a few days. So anyway, but I had my sweet potatoes and I didn't lose weight. Or if I did, it was like less than 10 pounds or whatever after a so many month program. But here's the thing. The reason I didn't lose weight is because I was frying the sweet potatoes in coconut oil. And somebody had told me coconut oil was healthy. So I was eating healthy by doing the coconut oil. Well, coconut oil is like absurdly calorie dense.
really?
You know what I mean? So yeah, it was like that. that, and I think I was adding too much almond milk in my shake. Like little things like that were destroying the deficit that I was trying to build by the working out and restraining my eating. So I was wasting my time plowing through all that tilapia and broccoli because all my sweet potatoes were saturated in coconut oil. So, that's the problem is it's like people don't know what that stuff means, and I think they kind of intentionally obfuscate what that stuff means. Or at least they used to until like the YouTube thing came out, and then the twins and other guys came out that actually showed you how to eat and confirmed, at least for me, that it was counting calories. And I didn't have to think about, you know, I didn't have to think about like eating healthy, which was a huge relief for me.
Yeah,
Like I lost 69 pounds off Chick-fil-A and protein shakes.
I bet that was good.
It worked. you know, there was a nearby Chick-fil-A, so I had like like I don't know, a couple sandwiches or whatever, and then I had a protein shake, and that worked.
My
But
my favorite
see,
is their spicy chicken sandwich.
yeah, that was good. But you see, when I was in college, if I'd said, "Oh, I'm doing fast food and shakes," and keeping track of my protein and calories, I've never tracked carbs or fats, but I just do calorie and protein. Um, but if I'd said anything like that in college, where you're supposed to be learning how to do all this, they'd have freaked out.
Yeah, right?
They'd have freaked out. They'd be like, "You can't do that." It's like, well, I don't have time to cook. I got to do something. But they make you feel like if you can't do all of it, you shouldn't even bother doing any of it, which just keeps you stuck. He's apparently speaking to Dina, I believe. So while he is communicating with his wife, I shall continue to kill the dead air or try not to allow there to be dead air. So, anyway, my point is I think a lot of this is just kind of by design, like it's bad advice that's done on purpose. So, I'm getting conspiratorial the older I get, though, so I could be wrong. What do you
Yeah.
think, Trevor?
uh, sorry about that.
No, you're good. Is everything okay?
Y- yeah, they're singing happy birthday to my daughter, so they're asking if I could join them. It was
You
like,
need to go because we've been at it for like, how long have we been at it? We've been at it for hour 42? No?
oh wow,
2 hours and 15 minutes. We've been at it for a while, man.
that's crazy. Um,
You got how about you wrap it up? Like we can probably pick this up next week because
okay.
I just wound up ranting and we didn't even look at the articles that we so I just wound up going, I hate toothpaste and Beachbody. That was like the summation of the show. So
um, well, yeah, let's go. Let's just go ahead and wrap it up, and we'll see. Cause the first part,
I'm gonna try to save it when it becomes available because that was a good exchange
yeah,
with
that was a
mushroom.
very good exchange, and that'll at least play.
Yeah, I'll try to salvage that if I can. But yeah, I'll have to wait. You'll either have to email me if you recorded it, or I'll have to wait to download it once YouTube downloads it. So it'll be a middle of the week before we get to it. But anyway, that's okay. You have any final thoughts, Mr. Trevor?
No, I do not. Sorry about my poor, what's it called? I'll try
I don't
harder.
know. I don't know what you're saying.
Uh, it's not hosting, it's, producing. That's the word.
Oh, you'll get better. You like look, you just got to do it.
Yeah,
Like that's the only way to get good at this stuff is to suck at the beginning. Like there's no way around it. You just got to do it, and you learn as you go. That's just life. So don't stress out.
okay.
Someday you'll be doing it like a wizard. It'll be great. So,
Okay.
all right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much for
much.
watching. Appreciate y'all. We'll continue this everything is trying to kill you thought next time
Yeah, because
because
we had
ain't done
another
right.
article, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, we got like one article in, and then we had like two or three, and
I'll
then I
see
went
that.
on tangents. We'll pick it up next week. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.